Season 14's artifact mod selection is a lot of fun, and this mod right here is what this entire build is based around. Warmind's decree states that void splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. Now, some parts of this build can get convoluted, so be sure to keep this mod in particular in mind, and it'll be easier to understand. I'm running Code of the Commander because of all this synergy with void explosions. Controlled demolition attaches a void detonator to targets when I hit them with an ability, and hitting them more will cause the detonator to explode. The melee tactical strike causes a void explosion when I punch enemies, and resupply gives me and nearby allies health, grenade, and melee energy when void detonators explode. And the banner shield itself can actually attach void detonators too when enemies try and walk through it. It's really useful for taking out tanks and bosses. Just deploy the shield and physically push it into them. This will constantly apply and destroy the detonators until the super runs out, and will destroy most tanks in a matter of seconds. All with the added benefit of keeping the tank from firing at allies. Plus, once I'm out of my super, all my abilities will be charged. Now, grenade choice for this is actually important. Magnetic grenades explode twice when stuck to enemies, which will apply void detonators with both explosions. I like using them because I can stick them to shriekers and other flying enemies. However, other strikes may want to use void wall grenades because they are absolutely amazing at area denial and boss fights. Just throw it under a boss or where enemies are going to be spawning from, and it'll constantly be placing detonators and exploding them, similar to how the banner shield does it. Now, going over to the weapons, I'm using a 7th Seraph carbine with anti-barrier auto rifle. My role is hipfire grip and rampage, and has a chance to spawn Warmind cells on a kill. Royal Entry is a void rocket launcher, with my role having chain reaction. So, if I get a kill with it, the void explosion will cause another void explosion. Then, I saved the best weapon for last, the Telesto. Fusion projectiles attach and detonate with a delayed void blast, and I finally finished the catalyst, so now it'll spawn orbs of power on multi-kills, along with almost double the magazine size. Something I've never noticed before is what Telesto's second perk, Harbinger's Pulse, does. This perk states that multi-kills with this weapon immediately reload your equipped kinetic and energy weapon from reserves. I think this is a leftover relic from when Telesto was in the heavy slot. It definitely reloads the kinetic weapon, but I've never noticed Telesto reloading itself. It would be nice if Bungie could update the text to clarify just how exactly this perk functions, but Telesto has always caused problems for the game, and I'm pretty sure updating description text is the least of Bungie's worries with this gun. So now that I've gone through all the weapons, it's on to the armor mods. As previously mentioned, I'm using Warmind's decree on the helmet. For a quick recap, void splash damage has a chance to create Warmind cells. On the chest plate, I use Power of Rasputin so I gain a bonus to weapon damage against enemies that are near Warmind cells. The boots have burning cells, which causes enemies caught in the explosion to burn for several seconds. Then on the mark, I'm using Hammer of the Warmind. This causes Warmind cell explosions to stun both Overload and Unstoppable champions. Then to eke just a little more utility out of Warmind cells is Global Reach, which makes Warmind cells affect and damage targets at greater distances. From there, I went all in on using my void detonators and keeping the Telesto fed and happy. Double fusion ammo finder on the helmet, fusion rifle scavenger on the boots, and fusion rifle ammo reserves all work in conjunction to keep the Telesto operating at full efficacy. I used the armamentarium for an additional grenade charge. The new seasonal perk Impulse Recycler grants grenade energy for grenade final blows, and finally distribution reduces all ability cooldowns when using barricade near enemies. You might notice in the background gameplay I sometimes put my barricade in weird locations. It's usually because I'm trying to top off the grenade charge. Now this build works very well for me, with one exception: Overload and Unstoppable champions. Destroying the Warmind cells does a fabulous job at stunning them. The problem lies in the random chance of cells spawning, and allies shooting the cells before the champions spawn in. To help mitigate some of this, Impulse Recycler can be swapped out for Schwarzschild Condenser so that void melee attacks stun Unstoppable champions, but I personally didn't use it because I found the grenades were just too useful. Overall, it is a very effective build though. With all of the ways of creating void explosions, I had Warmind cells popping up all over the place. I think it would work really good for a fire team that were all running Warmind cell mods in order to take advantage of them. And if Telesto isn't your style, I've heard that Graviton Lance and Fighting Lion are also good options for this kind of build, although I haven't had time to try them out yet. But if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and hopefully the rest of your day goes good.